Welcome to Alliance Review. We're taking a look at the Umidigi A7 Pro. Here you see the back of it, quad camera setup with a fingerprint sensor. Here you see the top of it with two antenna lines. Here you see the side of it with the SIM tray. And here you see the other side with the volume rocker and the power button. And here's the bottom with the speaker, microphone, USB Type-C port, and headphone jack, not to mention antenna lines. And here's the front, 6.3-inch screen display. The display is 2340 by 1080. There you see the fingerprint sensor, how fast that is. It's not the fastest in the world, but you get an idea. Let's try to focus a little bit more up here if I can. There you go, teardrop. This notch in there for the camera, and it's going to be kind of hard to capture it, but above that is a very narrow slot where the earpiece is, and just below that another little slot right there where my little Wi-Fi signal is. You can kind of see it in this shot. There you go. Is where your sensors are. Umidigi, of course, includes the case and a very narrow screen protector on the front. Now, what about the hardware? CPU is a MediaTek. Big surprise, right? Yeah, all Umidigis pretty much use MediaTek because how they keep the prices down. MediaTek MT6763 at 2 gigahertz. GPU is a ARM Mali 671, not 60, but 671, 700 megahertz. The battery size is 4150, so I found that I could usually get through a day with it with no problem. Usually I was only charging this every other day, so it's kind of nice to have that. The RAM in here, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabyte of storage. Obviously you want to expand on that, you can with the SIM card. As I mentioned, is a dual SIM with an extra slot for expandable memory. Software wise, it does come with Android 10. I don't know if you can really see that on there, but Android 10, the Android security patch level is only April. We're now going in October. Did get a few updates from Umidigi, but I think those are just mainly bug fixes that they do, some minor fixes. They usually don't give you an OS update, so I don't expect to get Android 11 from them. I'm not even sure I expect to get a newer update from them at all. So this may be stuck on the April security patch. If you buy one, you'll probably be in the same boat. So that's the way Umidigi usually is with their phones. So is the phone worth $170? Well, I'm going to do a part 2 to give you an idea of how well the cameras work and the pictures they took, and also how the games play on here, just to give you an idea of the performance. I just felt that it would be better to show you that through the screen recorded than trying to show you here. So look for that part 2. And then as far as the cameras go, you got the 16 megapixel front, 16 megapixel main in the back, 16 megapixel wide, 5 megapixel depth sensor, and a 5 megapixel macro. My experience with them, as long as the lighting is good, you can get a decent photo. The worse the lighting, or the dimmer the lighting, the worse the photo is going to be, or the harder it's going to be for you to get that good photo. Nighttime photos were kind of a mixed bag, where if you got enough ambient light, I guess you can get a okay photo, but a lot of mine came out with too much blue in them, so I didn't really like the performance of the cameras at night. The macro was also a bit of a pain in the butt for me. Because you have to really hope for a very still subject matter. If you're trying to take pictures out in nature or somewhere, and you're trying to get that macro shot, and the wind blows or something, your photo's done. I've probably deleted 75% or more of my macro shots because they were just too blurry, or just not good enough, I felt, for it. But I did save some of them, so again, I'll show that in a part 2. So there you have it. There's the stats for it, and the overall build quality feels okay. Umidigi makes pretty good looking phones that look more premium than what they are at a lower price. But then the support usually isn't there, right? So you'll get a few bug fixes and that'll be it. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking to buy this phone. And like I said, check out part 2 to see how the photos and the performance is, and see if that is something that you want to spend $170 on. I did ask a friend of mine about it, and they were looking at the photos, and they were like, I wouldn't even spend $50 because that's a person that likes to take a lot of photos. So obviously, if you're in that boat where you want to take a ton of photos, maybe it's better to save the 170, put it towards a different phone that maybe costs more, but is going to give you better photos from the cameras that it has. That's going to wrap this up, and like I said, check out part 2.